I'm LT, and clearly I'm a Chevy guy. And today we're going to do a quick review of a Ford. All that and more coming up on Horsepower Every Day. What's going on, good people? It's your boy LT with Horsepower Every Day, and today we are doing a quick review of the 2017 Ford Explorer XLT with the four-wheel drive in the EcoBoost engine platform. Now, this gives the Explorer about 280 horsepower, and I have it, and the reason it's going to be a quick review is it's a rental I had for a conference I had to drive to, ironically, to the Motor City itself, Detroit. And unfortunately, I was unable to do my review up there, which I wanted to do, so I ended up having to do it back here in my hometown. But we are going to get into it, no worries. And I must say, I was truly impressed with this engine on the road. It does have a lot of get up and go. It does do a lot of pickup. And ironically, it's a very comfortable ride. In fact, I would say that there were moments I was doing a little over the speed limit, but I didn't realize it. I didn't realize it till I actually looked at the speedometer, and I was like, oh my God, I'm doing this kind of speed in this vehicle. But what I also love about this SUV is a lot of the features that come with it. First off, it has a very huge screen that makes it easy for you to see everything, and if there are things on the screen that you would like to see in other locations, you've got your instrument panel, which I'll get to in a moment. But for the actual navigation audio entertainment screen, it's pretty big. I want to say it's about a 7-inch or more screen. Actually, I want to say it's probably a little higher than that, maybe a 10-inch screen. But it is very intuitive. It's all touch. You've got options such as audio, your climate, your phone, navigation, apps, which I'll get to in a little bit, and of course your settings. It's very easy to link your phone to it. In fact, I will give you a demonstration of that here now.
Search for your vehicle on your device and select it once it is found. Confirm that the pin displayed on sync matches the pin displayed on your device. For your safety, please stay alert to changing road conditions and use Sync's voice-activated features.
All right, see how easy that was? Great. What I also like is that it can find whatever mobile apps are compatible with the actual entertainment system. For example, Spotify. You can control Spotify from the entertainment system instead of from your phone, and you can use the Sync software to navigate through your Spotify by voice. You can choose an artist, you can choose an album, you can play playlists, you can play tracks, and it all works pretty smoothly. It is a little more intensive, or I would say a little more difficult, trying to do all that by hand. For example, when I was trying to browse through the albums that I have saved or the artists that I have saved on my Spotify, it only went as far as about the letter G, and I was not able to figure out in time how to go further down my alphabetical list. However, I was able, with a quick search online, able to find out the voice commands I can use for Spotify, which made things somewhat easier. I can say it wasn't all that easy. Certain popular artists were able to come up. For example, if I searched for Alien Ant Farm, or if I searched for Beyonce, those came up easily, no problem. If I did do a search forever for names like Solange Knowles, or Raheem Devon, they did not come up. However, while I was able to go back and navigate through my Spotify when I had to switch the source over to Bluetooth instead of the actual Spotify itself, I was able to get to those artists. And when I asked for information from Sync, it actually did repeat off the name of the actual artist, but it sounded a little different from what I said, which is the actual person's name. That aside, the navigation is pretty great. It splits the screen when you have an exit coming up, and it shows you exactly what that looks like and where you should go. And if you keep the screen split, you can see what your next turnoffs are going to be. Now, if you don't want to use the screen and you have navigation, if you want to see like the Spotify screen or the audio screen, but you still want to have your navigation, you then have your instrument cluster. And I must say the instrument cluster is really, really great. It has two digital screens to the left and right of your speedometer, which is in miles per hour and kilometers per hour, all in the same place. And on the left side, you can see your speedometer. You also have display modes, and your display mode gives you your speedometer in digital, your intelligence four-wheel drive, which actually sees what's coming up behind you, what's coming up in front of you, your distance to empty in the display mode. Your tachometer is digital as well, pretty cool. You also get your engine temperature, which comes up as a small part of the fuel digital screen, which lets you know how hot or cold the car is running. After that, you've got your tire pressure, and below all of this, you have your miles. You also have your trip 1 and trip 2, which you can see. You can also have your fuel economy, let you know your average. You've got your driver assist, and you can choose options such as traction control, blind spot, cross traffic alert, and trailer sway if you've got a trailer on it. And you also have your settings on the left side, which is for your vehicle, whether you want to do an auto engine off, a DTE calculation, lighting, locks, oil life reset, interesting, power lift gate, remote start, wipers, and that's it for that one. You also have the My Key, and the My Key says how many keys you actually have set to the vehicle, and the display setup in terms of how you want your display to be shown in terms of distance, temperature gauge, display, tire pressure, and language. Now on the right side, you have entertainment. Right now we have it all. You also have your navigation. And when you're not using the navigation and you set it on the screen, it just shows you what direction you're going, you know, north, east, south, west, and all the spots in between. When you are using it, it does show the direction you're going and your next point in your travel. And you also have your phone feature, which allows you to see all your calls as you sync your phone to the entertainment system. You can also download all your contacts and your call history to the car should you choose. And this goes through all calls, incoming calls, outgoing calls, and missed calls. What I also like is that they've color-coded these sections. So entertainment is in red, navigation is in green, and phone is in orange. Now, some of the other features of the vehicle, which I am a fan of, the shade. Now, the shade goes to the actual front area, but if you press it again, you can go all the way to the second row. Now this XLT 4-wheel drive comes with the optional third row set of seats. Now I probably wouldn't pick that because getting in and out of them can be a little difficult, but with them folded down, and they fold down pretty easy, you then get all the trunk space that you would need traveling with a family of, say, 4 or 5. Also, it has a sunroof, and the sunroof actually just opens up here above the driver and front of the car passenger. It does not go any further back. It can also tilt if necessary once closed, and I find that pretty interesting that you've got a separate button for the tilt that only works when it's open. But there you have it. So let's take a look around the car real quick. Now, what I do love about this vehicle is the lift gate in the back. It actually has the feature that first came with the Ford Escape, where if you swipe your foot under it, it will automatically open the lift gate for you. It also has a windshield wiper in the back for it, and it has a little button that you can press to close it down. We also have the air conditioning system. It has a dual mode, and there is also controls in the back for controlling the air system for the second and third row of seats. So it has a separate cooling system there in the back that you can control. The fan goes up, I want to say to about 7 or 8, which is high speed. And you also have the options of cycling the air in. You've got your max AC. You've got your front and rear defrost. You've got heated seats. Doesn't appear to be cooled seats, but I would think as these seats are perforated in cloth, they may be cooled. However, I believe that they may just be heated seats only, and that's heated seats for the front, for the driver and front passenger, nothing in the rear. So the Horsepower Everyday review, what do we give this car in terms of a Gladiator review? Does it get the good old thumbs up, the old thumbs down, or it has a maybe, depending on how you feel? I must say that I was truly impressed with the SUV. It's a really great vehicle, great mileage, especially with that EcoBoost engine. I love the amenities and the features. I do love the tech. I was a little disheartened with the Spotify and Ford Sync controls. There's no such thing as perfection. However, I was looking for a little more. I would like to be able to use my voice, and however I say something, it would be picked up, but that's technology for you. I did like that it downloaded my contacts. I could make a call to someone no matter what I said, and that worked. That was great. I was able to call some folks on the road and say, hey, we're on our way, here's where we are. That worked really well. The folks that rode with me, they enjoyed it. It was a really comfortable ride. Very smooth ride. You don't feel a lot of the bumps and all that, as should be the case with any SUV. I do like the space in the back. However, I would not recommend the third row option. If you do have a big enough family for it, hey, go for it. But the disadvantages to me of that third row option is it's a little difficult to get in and out of, because you have to go through the second set of doors and move the second row seats practically all the way up for someone to get in. And since this one doesn't have the side skirt steps, it gets a little more difficult having to climb in here, especially depending on who you've got going in the back. Kids may be all right. Adults should be fine. Older folks, senior citizens, I would definitely not recommend. But also, if you do have it full, even up to the third row seats, you really do lose a lot of the space in the back. And with any SUV, you should be able to have that space in the back. Now, if you're just a person that wants to have it all the way around and have the seats there just in case, you know, that's totally up to you. You can fold them down and never see them again and use all that trunk space. But if you never plan on having that, I wouldn't even recommend it. All in all, it is a great vehicle, and I give it a thumbs up, surprisingly, as I am a Chevy guy. But the 2017 Ford Explorer XLT 4-wheel drive is a great vehicle, starting at around $33,000. I think that it is a good family vehicle as well. If I had to make a choice, I would probably go with the Chevy alternative, the Tahoe. I have been in that vehicle before, and I actually do prefer it to this one. Not to say anything against the Ford. This Ford Explorer is actually really nice, and with the low price and the EcoBoost system, you're getting a great value for your money. So that covers our quick review. I'm LT, of course. This is Horsepower Everyday, and I will catch you guys on the next video. Peace.